Good morning, everybody. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, and come join me. Rose Ward, Stampersdelight.com. And how are you today? So let me show you what we're going to do today is the paper pumpkin and alternatives. Okay, this is an awesome kit. It also coordinates with our bird ballad suite. Free as a bird stamp set. So I'm going to flip the camera in a minute, but just hop on, say hi, and let me know how you're doing and where you're from. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so here is the paper pumpkin kit. This is for May. This is Hugs by Shelli, and it does coordinate with the Free as a Bird or Bird Ballad suite. So let me first open this. So with this kit, and if you're not familiar with paper pumpkin, you can get this sent to your house every day. Every day, yeah, I wish. Every month, okay, just by joining. And you can skip months. You can end it whenever you want. Just contact me, Stampersdelight.com, to get started. So you get a little ink spot, which is early espresso. Good morning. Good morning, Maureen, Megan, Angie. And then you get these great stamps. They're limited edition. Okay, there's hello, grateful, thank you, hugs, dear friends, some birds, a feather. I'm sure you've probably seen some of these already demonstrated online. Let me just take it out of the box. You get this really nice tissue paper, which I always save. I feel like my mother. But it's just so pretty, and the color is pretty, and I'm actually going to use it. So I'll show you that. And before I go any further, I want to do a little shout out to our Cali girl. Happy 31st birthday, Selena, out in Cali from Mama and Papa Ward. We're so glad you came into our lives. We love you, girl. Miss you and can't wait to see you again. Okay, so here is the kit that you get. And let's open it. I'm just going to pull this open. Hi, Gail. It was nice chatting with you last night. Okay, so you've got some linen thread. You've got some pink ribbon, or it's in between a thread and our what am I thinking of? Our twine, okay? Some really nice ribbon, which you're going to see in a minute. Some tranquil tide. You got some birds and some doodads. Let's just go with doodads. Too early in the morning for me to remember everything. Okay, you got the envelopes, which the envelopes alone are really cool because you could cut that out and make another card, which that'll be another video. So you have these. Let's see what this one is. And you have these. Those are the inside. Yes, thank you, everybody. It was great news about Chrissy. She is still in Chicago. She does have to have another surgery, but she's done with chemo and done with radiation. And right now, thank God, forever we hope, is cancer-free. So thank you so much for all your thoughts, loves, and prayers. There's the other two envelopes inside. And then you have the card bases. You get 3 of each. You get 3 of these. 3 of this really cool background, which you'll see an alternative for that. These right here. And then, of course, probably my favorite, the bird basket, or bird nest. And then you get some die cuts. I know I'm going through this fast, but I'm sure a lot of you have already seen it. These are on vellum. And then, of course, you get your tags for your sentiments. Okay. So, now here are the directions, okay? And what I usually do is I make at least one of each, okay, on here, which I'm going to show you. And then I do alternatives. All right, so let's get started and let me show you what I've done. Okay, so the Here's the ones that they show in the directions. Let me just pull that out. Okay, there's the envelope. So here's the first one. Grateful for you. And there's that real pretty velvet ribbon. Good morning, Kathy. The next one is a thank you. Thank you. And now on here, is it dear friend? Yeah, it does say dear friend. There's one that I changed a little bit. But again, this is the way that you can use the directions, and there's also a video out there. And then, of course, we have the hello. And then this one I did exactly like the directions, but I colored it. Okay, even though this is really pretty by itself, you can see that real close. I colored it. And this one I used our watercolor pencils. On another one I used our regular markers, and you'll see that. So those are the ones that they show you in the kit. Let me show you some of the alternatives. So for this one, I'll bring this one in first. I took one of the laser cut cards from our Bird Ballad suite. I cut the middle out. Let me bring that up close so you can see it. I used the one background card. Let me just show you this one. And I cut that, and I layered that behind here with another piece of cardstock. And I did the birds. I don't know if you can see it. When I get too close, it kind of gets blurry, I think. I did some birds on it, but I used it as a background. And then I did Your Friendship Means So Much the World to Me, which is from the Free as a Bird stamp set. And I used the ribbon around it just to make it look like a frame. So that's one alternative. Then with the piece that I cut out here in the center, I took one of the smaller cards, or the cards that came with it, and I used that as a doily. I took the Free as a Bird stamp, and I put them on the tag. And then I just did little hellos over here with some of the linen thread. And there'll be still shots when I'm done, okay? The next thing I did was I took this card. I just like to show you. I took this card right here, cut it, and of course you can use this piece too, okay, as the inside or for sentiments, so you don't waste anything. I cut it, and I used our rectangle framelits, and I cut the middle out, and then I did a shaker card. Again, using the Free as a Bird stamp set. And our iridescent sequins. And then in the inside, I used a new stamp set called Parcels and Petals, which I'll be showcasing later in June. And I put the birthday sentiment in there with the bird. Now, the piece inside, of course, because we don't waste anything, I layered onto a regular card base. And with that piece that I cut off, the back side of the card, what I did was I took the tissue paper and I stamped right on the tissue paper. I'm just going to switch something because it seems to keep freezing. Let's try this. Okay. So I cut the tissue paper, stamped on the tissue paper, put that on the card base, then took the other piece of the card, the half a piece here, right here. I used that as a background here. I stamped on that, and I used the petal pink. And then I used it as a thank you with the little bird. Oh, thanks, Gail. Yeah, those iridescent sequins go perfect with these colors. So that was another alternative. I'm holding one till the last. Then what I did was I took our new scalloped card notes or note cards, and I just did some simple stamping. This is the blue one, and I just used Night of Navy and Balmy Blue. I used that one splat, and I just made a quick, easy note card. And the other simple stamping card I did was with the Petal Pink. And I also used some Balmy Blue, but I tapped it off. Oh, no, I used, I'm sorry, I used Pool Party with this one. This is why I keep them in front of me. And, of course, the Early Expresso. And I made a cute little thank you card. I love these new note cards. You could also, if you wanted to, put some Designer Series paper down here, which I didn't. But let me just grab that and show you what I mean. Okay. You could just put some Designer Series paper down here and have a little of that showing right there. Okay, so that was another simple stamped card. Now, the one I'm going to be showing you, I also used a little lace. And I didn't use the stamps, but I will be using these with my Something Old and Something New on Sunday at 7 p.m. What I used was the die that comes with, the die that comes with it, which is this big. Okay, it's a beautiful lace die. But I didn't use the whole thing. So you want to see my alternative for that? Okay. So I took some Crumb Cake, Early Expresso. Again, let me show you. I colored those in. These I colored in with the markers. And then if you look, I used that lace detailed at the bottom. And of course, again, here's the card, that piece that I cut off and I used for the inside. Oh, Kathleen's watching me from the airport. Where are you going, Kathleen? So this is an alternative, probably my favorite. And now I'm going to do some stamping. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you is, let's bring this one in, and we'll do this one. Okay, so let's move this. I'm going to start with the ones I really, really like a lot, so that if we don't have time. Okay, so I'm going to grab one of my laser cards, and I'm just going to cut this out. Because for this, I want the inside piece. I could have done this beforehand, but I wanted to show you how easy it is to snip that little doily piece out in the middle. Again, if you live near me or you want to fly to New York like Megan, my open house will be June 7th and 8th. It's a retirement party. No, I'm not retiring. Everybody thought I was retiring. Sorry about that. It's my retiring old or retired Stampin' Up! Products that I sell off so that I can get new and you can get new and get some deep discounts. That's June 7th at 6:30 at night or June 8th at 11 a.m. Come visit me. You can just drop in the information's on my blog and also on Facebook. But if you don't RSVP by the 4th, you won't have a goodie bag, or I should say in this instance, a goodie box. And you won't be able to do the make and take, so please RSVP. And there I have my doily. Okay, so very quick, simple card. I'm going to take that. I'm going to grab my stamp from the Free as a Bird. Now, I'm using the larger ink pad. I usually save my small ones, either to use at a class if I need an extra one, or as gifts. Okay, so I might have gave a little bit away about that, what you're going to get when you come to my open house, which is free, by the way, and you can pick up your catalog. Now, I inked up the whole thing, but I don't need the whole thing. The nice thing about these silver edges is you can actually wipe the edge away. Okay, so I'm just going to go right in here and stamp the middle. You see how I have the edge there? No worries. I'm going to use my finger because I don't have any. Look at that. Just be careful not to smear it. Or you can just ink up part of the stamp. Just get that right off. There you go. There's a little piece right there. Okay. So for this one, I actually used our watercolor pencils. And let me show you. This is our old case. I took all the old ones out and I put all our new ones in. And I'm just going to do a real quick coloring here. So if I don't answer your questions, it's because of that. Okay, I also want to remind everybody that this is the, you only have a couple more weeks to get your orders in for the old catalog that ends on June 3rd. Okay, I'm doing a different blue here, but that's okay. That's going to be a little bit different. And the new catalog starts June 4th. There's still time to order through me to get in the drawing for the bag, which I will be drawing a name on the 31st. What else? Everything Rosy. That ends on the 31st if you want to order that. So I'm using some of the different colors. This one might have been with my markers because I was playing with both. I know I usually use the blends. Not everybody has the blends. Why, I don't know. But we want to show you all the different ways you can color. So I'm just going to go in there with this one. This is the early Expresso. Just going to shade some of the bird in here. Now, one thing when you use the watercolor pencils and our blender pen, you want to start with the light colors and then end with the dark colors, even though you clean it off. And then let's use a lighter blue in the belly. You see, you don't have to color every little nook and cranny. You're just going to blend it together. The lace cards come from the Bird Ballad Suite. Okay. That's okay, Megan. Megan says if she came, I'd never get rid of her. I have an extra bedroom. Okay, so I'm going to start with the green because it seems to be the lighter. And all you have to do is just blend it very gently. I don't worry about if it goes out of the lines, okay, with the blender pens or anything, because it's supposed to look like a watercolor, okay? Now here, I'm going to do a little with the, just dot with the little beaks. I'm going to go in with the blue. Again, I try to pick up, use the, do the lighter colors, like I said. Okay, got my birds done. I'm going to do the blue for the flowers. And now I'm going to do the brown. Now here I'm just going to blend it up to go into the blue. Just like I did with my blender pens. And it does blend pretty good. Actually, it blends great. Who am I kidding? Okay. So I hope everybody has great plans for the long Memorial Day weekend, even if it's doing nothing. I'm so looking forward to a long weekend. Okay, there we go. All right, so then I'm going to bring in my card. And the little, this one says hello, so I'm going to change it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to make this one a thank you card. So I'm going to stamp, make sure that's straight, thank you, right on top of the flowers. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Now this I don't worry about if I get glue in the middle of it, because it's going to be held down by this little guy. Okay. This one I'm going to use dimensionals on. Yes, I have a long weekend, Megan. I am so looking forward to it. And if I can, it might even be longer if I can get a little time off today. I'm sure I won't, but I can always try. I always use the sides. The side pieces, don't forget, are so good for this type of thing. Okay, I'm going to pull that off. I do have my tool here to do this, but I'm just going to grab it. I am going to grab some of my linen thread. Now, I have the linen thread here. Okay, I was going to use the other one, but I think I'll wait. Okay. And I'm just going to wrap that around here. Do it this way because, see, I wanted to get it to the edge. I don't want too much of the bird. There we go. So I'm just going to wrap him. Snip him off. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching my videos and sharing them. I really do appreciate that. You don't know how much. Okay. So this is going to hold that down. And then I'm going to go ahead right on top of there. Place that down. I got my little flower. I'm going to move him over. He's kind of hiding the bird's face. I'm just going to move him over just a tad. And this one I'm going to put the flower right there. Now this I am going to snail down. It's already popped up on there, so. And I'm just going to, I want the flowers up there. There you go. Cute little quick card as an alternative. You could also put some, I'm going to change this. Nope, it's down. I was going to pop it up, but you could also put some Winkostella on there if you wanted to. I'm not going to this morning. So there's one alternative. Now let me show you the alternative that I did for this one, because this one's the most important to me because I love it so much. And just in case we run out of time. So let me give you some instructions here on this one. All right. So the first thing is, of course, I used the paper lengthwise. Then I cut a piece of Expresso, and I'll put these measurements in later, okay? The Expresso part is 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. This piece right here for the inside is the back of the card. Okay, so what I mean is it's this card right here. So I'm going to cut that down that middle right now. And then this piece is going to be, oop, that's not it, but it's the same thing. Okay, so you'll see in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer on top of everything and hope that I do this correctly. And this one, I have to cut at 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. Okay, so 3 1/2. You are going to have to cut some of this guy off. 3 1/2, which is basically right in half. And then just want to make sure I got it right. 3 1/2. Yep. Now, it depends on which side you want to cut off. I'm cutting off the top, but you can cut off the bottom because it's going to be hidden by 4 1/2. And don't worry too much about the measurements. You can always trim it up later. What you want to make sure is that it fits on the brown piece, the early Expresso, which it does. Okay. Oh, you're going to love it. Kathy says she gets her paper pumpkin today. Okay, now for the pretty little lace bottom. Again, that's the one I will be doing something old and something new with on Sunday night. And somewhere in this mess is my phone folder, but I'm using my fingernail. Okay, so I folded that in half. Then I'm going to bring in the big shot, which you know how I don't like doing this because it makes the table rock, but I want to show you. I'm going to take that lace die and my cardstock, which I just folded, and I'm just going to line it up. Now, it really doesn't matter how much, I mean, I didn't measure that, maybe about a ½ an inch. You're just going to take this die and line it up to the bottom here. Okay, I think everybody gets it, right? I'm going to slide it in there. And again, I want to make sure it's straight, as straight as I can get on camera anyway. Okay, I'll just bring this out a little bit. I'm going to put that right there. And bring in my plate. Sandwich it in. Looks like it's a little crooked, so there we go. And I'm going to roll it up. Now this is a detailed die. Sorry for the moving of the table. I'm going to do it a couple of times because I want a lot of those little pieces to come out. Sorry, I know it's rocking. I can use my wire brush after this, but I want to get as many of those pieces out as possible. Okay, there we go. Let's bring it out. Get rid of this thing. Okay. Again, I can use my wire brush, but let's see how we did. Okay, so there's that. And I'm just going to grab the wire brush. As you can see, this is where I used it before. You can leave the die on and do this, but these come out pretty easy. Look at that. Got confetti all over the place now. I just go back and forth. And whatever ones are left in there, just take your pick tool and poke them out. I'm not going to sit here and do all of them. You get the idea. I'm doing the bigger ones. As long as the bigger ones are out. And there you have your doily. Or your lace. Okay. So I'm going to bring this back in. And get the rest of my things here. So here's the inside. Here's the back side of the card. I flip it over and I can use that right in there. You can either cut that so the white or the off-white doesn't show, or leave it exactly that same size. Now, for this one, I brought in my markers, and I want to show you how easy it is to color this with markers too. The eggs, I just took the Balmy Blue. Here's my eggs. I just think it adds to it because it's got nice color. My Pear Pizzazz, because I don't want real dark leaves. I just want a little hint of color. So who's excited for the new catalog? I mean, I know most of us have seen it. How long is your wish list? I ordered a lot of items on the pre-order, and my wish list is still huge. Stampin' Up! Outdid themselves. And if you'd like to join my team, just contact me. Stampersdelight.com. Great way to have your own business. Or if you want to save on product, save a little money. Make some money, maybe buy a new car, whatever. Okay, now for the nest, I just took our crumb cake and just went right over the whole thing. For those of you who don't like to color, easiest coloring, or circle it. And I'm just adding that little hint of color. I've got a leaf there, so I'll make that brown. There you go. All right, now that I have that done, I'm going to bring in that early espresso. I'm going to snail this right on top of that piece of cardstock. Okay. And then layer it right there. Put that right up here. Now I'm going to grab that grape velvet ribbon, and I'm just going to lay, I don't like to wrap the velvet like I do everything else, like wrap it around. It's too bulky. So I like to cut it off. So let's grab my scissors. I'm going to do this a little larger than I want so I can, okay. So I'm going to lay that right there. Oh, actually I did that pretty good, just a tiny bit. My ribbon scissors are in the back of me, so let's see if that fits in there. Nope, just got to get that little guy off. Whoop, something just fell. My linen thread. Okay, perfect. So that's going to go right there. And the thing I like about this ribbon is our snail is the same exact size. So I'm just going to roll some snail here. Lay that right on top of it. And I get my tag. And for this one, let's see. Okay, so this one I use the Free as a Bird, Your Friendship Means the World to Me. For this one, I'm going to use Hugs from the Paper Pumpkin, just to change it up a little bit, okay? So I'm going to ink that up. Oh, you know what? This is, I'm going to do something different. Well, actually, I did it the same way on here. This is our new peacock, pretty peacock. So let's use that color like I did here. I love this color. Love it. So I'm going to use Hugs. That right in there. So I like to change it just a little bit while we're live. Okay, so I know this is going to go right here. And then somewhere over here. Let's grab these flowers. This is going to be a little different. I'm going to grab the pink flowers. It's going to go right there. Now this one I am going to use some dimensionals. And I think one large one will work with that. Let me just pop this out. It does come with the mini dimensionals. So put that right there. And then the Hugs. Now when I do a tag over bulky ribbon, I like to do the snail or dimensionals this way. So that's when, again, these long pieces come in handy because they leave that middle edge to go over the ribbon and still hold it down. Megan, I used the markers because not everybody has the blends, and I wanted to show you how we could color with, I use the blends a lot, but I wanted to show you coloring with other tools that we have. Okay, so there, right there. So you see it's coming together. Now, before I finish, I'm going to grab a bird from the Free as a Bird. And I might want to put that one on there. Maybe right there by his little eggs. Okay, so, again, let's see. Let's do this. I'm going to use my markers. Put some, I'm doing Crumb Cake. Grab the Balmy Blue. I don't even know if I'm going to like it, but I'm going to try it. Okay, And I don't have a yellow out here, so let's see. I will grab my watercolor pencil. So I'm using both on this. It's all good. Since I didn't plan on doing this, this was just a last minute thing. Now, I have a little yellow in there. And you can also blend that a little bit if you wanted to with the blends. Not the blends, the blender pen. Let me show you. Clean that off. Blend it up with the markers. So that's just different tools you can use that we have. Okay. And for this one, probably my very last one will work here. Last dimensional on that sheet. So let me grab another one. Put him there. Put the bird right there. Now again, remember this is the back side of the card front that I cut off. And I'm going to use that for the inside. So this says hugs, and let's see if I have a sentiment that I really want for that. I'm not sure, because I'm not sure what I'm going to be using it for. Let's see. Just hugs. How about hugs, dear friend? Dear friend needs a hug. Okay, so we'll just put dear. We'll just do that. Hugs, dear friend. Then I'm going to bring in the bird. No, I'll bring in the feather. The feather stamp. And use the balmy blue. Or the pool party. Because it's lighter. Let's use the pool party. I'm going to ink that up. Stamp off once. Just gives it a little hint of a feather. And then I'm going to go ahead using the whole piece, because the other one I didn't, so I can show you the difference. Put that right inside here. And you have same card, a little different. And then I'm going to grab some of our sequins, which I just buried. There they are. Our iridescent sequins. And I'm going to put some sequins on there. Same idea, two different cards. Okay, so that was some of the alternatives that I did with these. I'll be playing more because I have plenty more to make with this kit. So let me bring some of the back in for you so you can see the different cards. I will be posting these shortly. I really hope you enjoyed the video. There's so much more I can do with this. If I had the time, right? There's my shaker card. Of course, the ones that the ones that show you the instructions. And then there's another one. Got them all scattered here now. And my simple stamping ones. So which one's your favorite? If you had to choose. And there's the other one. So I'd love to know which one is your favorite. Leave me a comment. Let me know. I will be answering all the comments when I get working. Let me just switch the camera. Thank you all so much for watching. So I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend, a safe one, a happy one. I hope to see you back here Sunday night. If you're away for the weekend, catch me on the replay. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody, and happy stamping. Bye.